Hey, everybody, welcome to WOD number 19. We are in our summer series and we are hitting up a workout of the day just to keep us well-rounded, ready to go, progressing all summer long. So today you have made it to a HIIT day, high intensity interval training. And that means that we're going to be hitting up an interval, a high intensity set, and then we're going to be followed up right away by a recovery set. So we'll have 1 minute of work and then we're going to have 1 minute of rest. And that rest is going to come in the form of a little core set, a little core grab. So let's go ahead and get warmed up and ready to go. And we'll hit into it. So you don't need any equipment. Push into your thumb and first finger. We're going to start off with our downward facing dog. Drive your hips up and back. Drive your chest between your arms, trying to hug your ears in towards your biceps. Take your elbows and point them back at your toes, and then drop one heel down as you let the other knee bend, and then switch. Threading those hips just a little bit, letting your hip joints move while keeping the pelvis as stable and still as possible. And you do that by grabbing the core. So the core is everything that wraps around, hugs in, and holds the pelvis in place. So the sides of the belly, the deep underneath flexions of your transverse abdominis, the pelvic floor. It's all super duper important. All right, level off. We're just going to take a couple more deep breaths here. And then go ahead and drop onto your knees, sit back. And we're going to take one arm up and over, stretch through that side body. Take a deep inhale and an exhale, hit up the other side. Reach the arm up and over. Deep inhale, exhale, other side. Inhale, exhale, switch. Inhale, exhale, and switch. All right, we're going to go back up to that down dog. And this time, level off into that left heel. Lift your right leg up and back. Bend your knee, and then open up the hip out to the side. So your right foot ends up stacking on top of the left heel. Drop your right shoulder. Keep the belly firm. Take a deep inhale, exhale, slide your body forward over those hands, bringing your right foot up outside the right hand, and then settle onto that back knee. Open the chest, slide your hips back, and then forward. So depending on how tight you are starting out, what you've been up to already today, you may need to be a little kind to yourself, not go straight into it yet as far as deep stretches. All right, press into those hands again, and we're going to hit up that other side. Hips are up and back. Inhale, bring the left leg up, bend your knee, open the hip. So drop your left foot over your right hip, and then drop the left shoulder down toward the ground a little bit. Level off on that back right foot, and then slide yourself forward. Bring your left leg up outside your left hand. I hope you know your lefts and rights. And then slide forward and back. Pull the toes up and then slide forward. Pull the toes up and slide forward. Okay, so we are going to start our set off with good old-fashioned jumping jacks. Then we have jump squats, high knees, touchdowns, gate swings, scissor jumps, and ski jumps. So we're going to have 1 minute of each. And along the way, between those 1 minutes, we are going to hit up a dead bug. So no transition time. Go ahead and turn your left foot and your right foot so you end up in a wide forward straddle fold on your mat. Slide to the left, slide to the right. So starting us off, 1 minute, jumping jacks. If you're not jumping, just keep one foot on the ground. Get those arms going. Ready, set, and go. All right, so feel free to warm into it. Connect with your body. Feel where it is in space. Regardless of where you're at and what modifications you might need to make today, just appreciate the fact that you're here, your body's moving, you stuck with your commitment, you made it to the mat, you pushed play, you signed in, you're focused on you, And regardless of what it looks like exteriorly, your interior system and mentality, physiology, psychology is going to be better off because you made it. Okay, on the ground, chill start. Arms are up, legs are up, extend, contract. So we are really focused on finding our abdomen, our core. Flex everything. Tug and tighten. As you extend arm and leg, feel the pelvis and the shoulder girdles stay neutral. So your core and upper back are holding support for those joints. Next up, we'll have jump squats. They might feel a little more intense than our jumping jacks. Pull the low belly into the ground, pull the low back into the ground. Reach, extend, flex, contract. Reach, extend, flex, contract. All right, up and at 'em. Here we go. Jump squats. Line up those knees and toes. Our goal here is to get the heart rate up. So, if your legs give out, stay a little higher. Don't jump so deep. If you're not at your level of capacity, try to get that hop a little higher. You figure out what pushes you, but remember, we are focused here on our heart rate. Very good. Flexed and contracted. Knees and toes line up. Time. Back to the ground. Dead bugs. Flex it in. Your pace is up to you. However, I find slowing down forces me to get that really good connection. I'm not just flinging my body through the air, but I really have good grab and good hold on my core. Tighten up from the sides. Almost feel like somebody has their hands on your sides of your rib cage, and you're trying to push those hands off. Find your pelvic floor, roll it up, and we're at high knees. Run in place, march, whatever works for you. Goal is heart rate. You can sneak that core in a little extra here. Use the belly to pull the legs up high. Time. Back down. Set in. It's a little tougher to find that core when you're breathing heavy. That's okay. Next up, we'll have touchdowns. So a curtsy, lunge with a hop. Super good for range of motion with our hips. Still developing the core, and pushing the heart rate back up. Tighten in, extend, contract. You're pulling a massive rubber band, both sides back. Time. All right, here we go. One leg cuts behind, then the other. Grabbing the core, lengthen through the back. If your back starts to grab, you need to maybe lift the chest a little more, not bend so far forward. Drop the hips and grab a little more through the core. 20 seconds left. Find some pace. That little twist, opposite arm reaching forward, helps out. Okay, back down, dead bugs. These are some of the top rated core moves. This is one of them. Huge for helping low back issues. Why? Because you're training the core to hold while moving your legs. Self-flexion, isometric hold while moving. So if you need to peel back the layers, if your low back keeps coming off, come up with me, and we're going to hit gate swings. Then we'll just do pelvic tucks. I'll show you the next time we're on the ground. You got it, you got it. Here for heart rate. So if that means you don't drop as deep, that's fine. Here we're opening those hips. Make sure you jump wide from your hip joint as you drop. Come on. Under 10 to go. Time. Okay, so if you're struggling to keep the low back on the ground, stay here. Just tuck. Pull in. Tighten up. Keep your glutes out of it. Flex. Hold that low belly toward the mat. Tuck in from your pelvic floor. Then maybe hang here. Then maybe kick out. Don't move your arms, but don't extend the leg low. So the lower your leg goes, the more difficult it is to keep your low back in the ground. That's the money. It's not worth it if you cannot feel the core. So back up, flex in, hold that isometric hold. If moving causes your low back to pop up and you lose, come on up, that tightness in the core. Okay, scissors. Just a very small Mary Catherine, basically. We want to keep knees and toes straight ahead. Getting our legs in lots of ranges of motion. Still finding that core flexion that we're building from the ground. How are your feet landing? Toes straight ahead. Knees straight ahead. Hip width. You got it. Three, two, one. Manual elliptical machine there. Woo. All right. Remember our purpose and goal here. Letting the heart rate recover. And flexing that core. We have one left for our first round. Ski hops. Then we only have one more full set to go. So each set is 14 minutes. Stick this one in your back pocket. Do it anywhere. Unless you're on a high floor and you're going to annoy people under you by jumping, I guess. Come on up. It's also, when you're on a top floor, good motivation to jump really light. How light can you land? Which is another great check-in, utilizing musculature, not impact on those joints. Good stuff. Still, knees and toes lining up. Heart rate's the goal here. One more dead bug. Then we're back to our jumping jacks. Tighten the belly, tighten the belly. Come on. 3, 2, 1. Whew. Flex, 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 flex. Think about it. What are you doing to make it difficult? How can you tighten in a little deeper? Keep that back on the ground. Tighten the core from the inside out. Time. Rock and roll it up. Jumping jacks. Okay. Now, instead of dead bugs, we're going to hit up a down dog plank shift. Tighten that belly. Speed and quickness. Still holding the core. Got to grab that core. Pelvic floor. Bladder control. We have lots of things going on here. Tighten, 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 tighten. Down dog. This is all about that core. Again, if you don't down dog plank, you can bird dog, cat cow. We are not relaxing the core. Hollow out your armpits, elbows, tuck back, belly, belly, belly. I like to exhale forward, find a little more contraction through the abdomen, and then inhale back. Great way to recover that breath as well. Next up, we have jump squats. Tighten. Flex. Contract. 3, 2, and 1. All right, here we go. Keep that belly strong. Sit it back and down. Time. Whew. Down dog. And plank. Whew. Down dogs are also such a good way to get some overhead mobility, right? So maybe you struggle to push your arms up overhead with good form. So feel here how once we get the back engaged, our shoulders are a little bit more inclined to move healthily overhead. So now see if you can relate that next time you're pressing up. All right, high knees, run in place. March is next. You got it, looking good. Keep that belly strong. Try not to lean back, but lift the chest. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Under 20 to go. Time. Hug that abdomen. Whew. Recover that breath. Touchdowns are next. Find that plank. You're using the core to pull back, almost like cat-cow. Tuck from the belly, drive back, tuck from the belly, drive forward. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, here we go. Back into those internal hip rotations. Feel what's going on. Shoulders to hips. You got it. Tighten the belly. Lengthen the back. Line up that knee and toe. Under 20 to go. Don't worry about what's coming. Stay in the moment. Time. Oh, all right. The point is not pace, it's flexion. Work with your breath. This is a great opportunity to get your breath work going as you come off a high intensity interval. Inhale back, grab the core, slide the shoulder blades down, exhale forward. Maybe you want to drive forward, inhale, then exhale, drive back, inhale, then exhale, drive forward. You find what works for you. Gaze swings next. Here we go. Whew. Can you find a little more core flexion? As you fatigue, find some reps you know you can make. Let's say 3. 3, 2, 1. Okay, 3 more. 3 more. You know you can work 3 at a time. You don't have to think about it adding up to 21. Down dog break. Check in with your mental place right now. Where is your mind going? What's it focused on? How can you utilize it to finish out these last 4 minutes? 2 high intensity minutes, 2 recovery minutes. You can do it. Where's your mind? Stay strong. Time. All right, we have scissors. Fifteen seconds to go. All right, down dog. Keep the core. Enjoy stretching those calves. I like to envision that there's something behind, huge, big, thick sash around my abdomen, pulling up. But that's just the imagination. What's really doing it is that core flexion. Grabbing, pulling me back. But if you can kind of visualize and put the work there, then you really feel the core doing the work. Okay, ski hops for the finish. Don't back off. Find the work. Keep your shoulders and pelvis neutral. So that means usually tuck your tailbone just a teeny bit. Lengthen through the chest. Grab the core. 10 seconds. Down dog. This is it, friends. Woo. Tug. Tighten. Elbows pull back toward the toes. Slide your shoulder blades down. Tighten up. You got it. 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful job. All right, curl your toes under. Sit back on your feet. If you're barefoot, you'll really feel it. If you're not, don't worry about it. Just stretch the feet, Achilles, and calves. All right. Come on back forward. Right leg's going to come forward nice and far. We're doing a low runner's lunge, lizard lunge, so that back knee stays back pretty far. Feel free to adjust your hips rolling around however you like it. Go ahead and pull that right leg back now, the foot back. And then we're going to hover forward again. Let your heel come up off the ground. Just get a little bit more stretch through that foot. All right. And now let's get the hamstring. Extend the leg forward. Inhale to lift. Exhale to drop. Inhale to lift. Exhale to drop. Whew. All right. Take your foot, cross it to the left side of the mat. Flex your right foot. Drop the left leg back and down. Make sure your pelvis is square to the ground. So that might mean you need to pull that left knee forward a little bit. If you're sweaty as I am, it'll just slide on its own. Oh, fantastic job. All right, let's do the other side. Bring your left leg forward. Keep your right leg back. Just that low runner's lunge for now. Take whatever shifts you need. Okay, and then bring your left leg back a little so that you can lift up onto the heel. Toes are down, stretching forward. Beautiful. All right, and then we're going to hinge back. Get that hamstring, pull the toes up, square off your hips, pulling the front or the back hip forward, front hip back. Inhale, extend. Exhale, lower. Oh, and then let's pigeon. Cross left foot to the other side. Flex that foot back. Square off the hips. So my left hip is much higher on this side. But that's okay because that means, well, I'm tighter, but I've got to get that pelvis square. So it's not worth letting that right hip rock up. Pull the right hip forward, left hip back. Oh. Fantastic job. All right. Let's come into our low squat. Sink all the way back and down. So if this is tough for you, still your heels coming off, that's okay. Just maybe rock side to side. But eventually, over time, you can either grab something to support, but eventually you'll get down there. Trust me, because I've seen so many clients do it. It's really good for everything. This is an ancestral position that the bodies were built for. Maybe try coming a little tighter. All right. Beautiful work, everybody. As always, thank you for joining me. Let's hit it up tomorrow. We're going to hit up the legs.